and then I have a lo-fi function. That just adds a little bit of a grit to the samples. Glory to God, I'm sitting here with the Sonicware SmplTrek, looking at how I've been building drum kits with this thing. I think this subject has definitely been covered by other YouTube channels, but since version 2.0, there's been a significant feature that makes this whole process a lot smoother. So what I'm going to do first of all is go over the sampling process and then naming and saving files. If that's something that you're going to skip and just put your files on an SD card through a computer, make sure you put it on inside the pool folder, and then you're good to go, so you can skip over to the section 2. So first of all, let's sample in some sounds. All right, so in order to get into your sampling screen, you want to hold this function button, press sampling, and then here with this knob A, you can select your input source. I'm using the stereo inputs. You have many options, but this is the way I'm doing this. And over here, I've got splice running in through a mixer going into the Sonicware SmplTrek. So I'm just going to go through and sample in some one shots, do my kick, snare, hi-hat, open hat, you know, the whole thing. I'm not going to show that whole process. I'll just show you how I sample one of the sounds and then move over into building the kit. So these are a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're starting your sampling. So you want to select your source. We got that out the way. And then if you look at the bottom of the screen here, we have some options. So we have a button that can select auto, which means it's going to auto save that. You'll be able to skip the naming process. And then you have a folder destination, so you can select and toggle through either pool or project. So for my drum kits, I like to put them in the pool, because when I do this, I'll be able to use them in multiple projects. So I can cycle through or sort through different, browse through different drum kits and see which one fits for the project that I'm working on currently. So I don't like to leave this on autosave. If you don't care what your samples are named, then you can go ahead and click that, make sure that that auto folder is checked. But I do like to name my samples, and I want to show you how I do that here. So a couple other things that you want to look at are the auto rec. So you can set your threshold using this knob here. So this is the value knob. And you can look at, if you look at where the arrow is, you can set different decibel levels. So this at negative 60, 40, 35, negative 24. So I leave it about right here. So what this will do is once your track is armed and you trigger a sound outside, it will start the recording. So you have a recording that doesn't have any silence at the beginning. So from here, I'll just arm the check by pressing this button. I've got a kick that I like over here on the tablet through Splice. And if I select this, I should be able to trigger it in, record it real quick, and then name it. So let's go. So now after I hit record and then stop, I'm ready to name my sample. I can use this directional pad here and then the OK button to select the letters that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and name this kick. Let's go. I think I'm at 07. I'm at about 7 kits that I've made so far. And then we'll just press OK. Okay, so that one's named already. So let's go kick. Oh, 9. I think I'm at 9 actually. Okay, so that saves that. Now I'll just go back and do the same process with every single sound: snare, hi-hats, crash, roll is usually what I go with, and then we'll move into, I'll just skip right now over that process and show you how to build a kit. So now that I have all my samples saved in my pool, what I'm going to do is hold function and press pool, and then use a direction pad to go over to kit, press OK, and then there's a selection here with this button under the screen. It says new, and then if I hit OK, I can select instrument parameters. Alright, so now that I'm in the instrument parameters screen, I can use the A knob, and by pushing it, it'll take me into my browser, and then I want to go over to the pool, go down, press OK. So this is a cool part of update 2.0. So I could just select any sample, and now that I'm back in this screen, what I can do is just use the same A knob and scroll through all my samples. So I don't have to keep going back into the pool, into the browser to select new sounds. And then what that does is it actually opens everything up so that I can hear the samples in context with one another. So I'm going to go and find my kick that I sampled. And now I can move over to the next pad and just scroll until I find all my other sounds. Then I can hear them in context. Prior to version 2.0, with that firmware, you would have to go in the browser and then so it would lock it up, and you couldn't audition what you already have on the pads together with what is in the browser. So this is a nice new feature to have. So I can start building, I can start finger drumming, and really hearing what everything sounds like in context with one another. So I will just go through and select all the sounds that I sampled in, and then I will look at some of the other parameters in here. Alright, so give it a nice little zoom out so you can see. Should have done this earlier so you can see that now. See, I can scroll through and get all my samples sounding well together with one another. So from here, now I have the knobs to be able to control different parameters as well. So I can start with using knob C to adjust the volume, the level of each sound. So I turn this one down pretty low, and what I've done is I just put the same hi-hat right next to each other, and I'll do these at different levels. And just adjust these a little bit. I'm leaving like the kick and the snare at 100, and everything else usually goes down quite a bit. And I have different pages of parameters, so I'll click this button here, move over to the next page, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all the way over to page 3 where I have choke groups, and I'm going to set all these hi-hats, the open and closed ones, into the same choke group using knob A. I'll put this on 1. And then I like to put my kick on choke group 2 along with my snare roll. I just feel like it gives it a nice effect. So then I can move back to page 2. This is the order of the things that I usually do. Now I have ability to adjust pitch using knob B here. You can also reverse your samples. You do have somewhat of an envelope here. So you have what's called a slope with using knob C. So what I can do is I can take off some of the decay, by going left, or as I go right, I'm taking off the attack on there, right? So one other thing on this page, this is page, I guess, two of the parameters. With knob A, you can adjust effect send. So I believe I have like a reverb on here at this time. Some sort of a reverb. All right, from here I can move back out, use these knobs, use these buttons here, and then I can now save this. I also have a kit parameter button. If I go in, I can change the overall volume of the entire kit, and then I have a lo-fi function. That just adds a little bit of a grit to the samples. Go back out. You could change pad color, and then send effects. You want to switch them here for the effects that work within the parameters. So yes, I have a hall going there. So, but now if you want to just save this, and you have two options by pressing this, you have current project and then pool. So like I said, when I saved and sampled all the samples that I did, I put them in the pool because I want to be able to use them in different projects. So instead of saving it to the current project, I will save it to the pool, and then I will name this kit. This is about the 9th kit that I've made on here. So drum kit 09. Press OK. Get to the home screen. Click a track. Press OK. Select the type. Select drum. And then with the A knob, I could switch from presets, which are the stock sounds that come with the SmplTrek. Switch it over to pool. And now I can go through all the kits that I've made. Let's go all the way to the end and have the kit that I just made. So there you go. That's how I'm building drum kits with the SmplTrek. If you guys have any questions, any things you'd like to see as far as SmplTrek content, please leave it in the comments. I've been looking to make some more stuff just out of my appreciation for this thing. It's dope. So yeah, until next time, everybody run with the dreams. God bless. Peace.